Hello, my name is Robert Shodis. I am the editor who localized Fairy Fencer F, and with me is translator for the project, Monica Marume.
Hi.
So we're going to be playing through Fairy Fencer F, showing off kind of early game features and gameplay. And every 20 minutes we'll also be giving away a copy of Fairy Fencer F to the person who asks the best question. From 4:20, 4:40, and 5 o'clock, 20-minute intervals, we'll be giving away a copy to whoever asks the best question. So without further ado, let's get this rolling.
Is everybody able to see?
I sure hope so. But this is going to be very awkward.
So why don't you guys give us a little intro to the game?
So, the broad strokes of the story is a long time ago, as you can see in this opening FMV footage, there was this ancient conflict between these two entities, the goddess and the vile god. And over the course of this conflict, they created these weapons called Furies. And each of these Furies contains like kind of the soul, the presence of a fairy. And the two entities basically sealed each other away, and the remaining Furies were scattered across the earth. And so these Furies that are kind of just laying dormant all over the earth, humans collect them, and these humans who basically find Furies and form partnerships with the fairies inside them are known as fencers. They say that if you possess a Fury, any wish you want will be granted. And so that kind of is what kickstarts the whole conflict. As you can see, the two deities have been sealed away with lots of pointy swords.
Yeah, they went all out with the artwork and everything too, because
Yeah.
this was Nobuo.
Yes, Nobuo Uematsu
And Yoshitaka Amano.
contributed music. Yoshitaka Amano designed the goddess and the vile god. Sunako was also involved from the Hyperdimension Neptunia series and the character designs.
It's a huge collaboration.
So, indeed. So we should be seeing our main character. Yep, here he is.
Got a question from the chat. They want to know what's eating your head, Robert.
This is the Pippin beanie that we gave away, or was included rather, with the limited edition copies of Fairy Fencer F, available, sold on our online store. As far as I know, we are sold out of LEs. So if you didn't get your LE, you might be out of luck. But it's very dapper, stylish. I can't stop wearing it. Probably keep wearing it for the duration of this live stream, until my head gets too sweaty. So.
Aw, cute.
So we're starting with the beginning of the game. You guys want to talk a little bit about each character as they show up?
Yeah. So right now we're looking at Fang and Aaron. Fang is the protagonist of the game. The player will be controlling for pretty much the entirety of the game, and Aaron is his fairy partner. Right now, Aaron is springing Fang out of prison because he had the brilliant idea of stealing bread, which is apparently a jailable offense. And so we're gonna be introduced to a kind of a flashback scene in a moment that kind of shows how these two ended up together, working together.
So we got Fang and Tiara. What's the other character's name?
Aaron. Yeah. That is actually a very underrated perk of the penal system.
Yeah, as you can see, Fang is not really one of those typical hero characters that you see. He's very lazy.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to stay in the cling.
Mm-hmm. He has really no heroic qualities at all. When we first meet him, I would go so far as to say he's something of an anti-hero.
Yeah, but he's more lovable in that sense too.
Yeah, I'd say he's more relatable. You know, people, we're flawed. We're flawed. You know, we're not perfect. You know, Fang's not perfect either, and I think that actually makes him a very identifiable character, in the sense that he's just a deeply flawed individual.
Aaron is more of like a strong personality, not so like meek characters that you commonly see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's very assertive, very just gung ho, trying to keep Fang in line. Because given any opportunity, Fang will take the path of least or no resistance.
Maybe they'll want to see some battle action going on.
Well, we do have a battle coming up,
Mm-hmm.
and that'll introduce the player to the kind of basics of battle.
She has that angry thing going on.
Oh, Fang.
So each person has a fairy partner, basically.
Mm-hmm. And now as we step into the Wayback Machine to 3 days ago, we'll see just exactly how this unlikely duo ended up together.
Mm.
Are there Japanese voices in these games?
There are. There's Japanese and English voice acting.
Check out them braiding up and down.
It's very important that they swagger up to the sword.
You know, one of those furies.
Mm-hmm.
Question from chat from Pizzy Katoame.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point of upgrading the Furies?
In what's just the weapon boost system in
Yeah,
general?
can you talk a little bit about upgrading? I think he said furries, but I think he meant Furies.
Probably meant Furies,
Furries.
yeah. So
This game is about furries.
the Furies come in two forms in the game. There's the actual Fury that the individual characters wield, and that's the weapon, as you can see Fang holding. And with those weapons, upgrading them is crucial because that's how you unlock, additional physical attack increases, magic attack increase. Like all your parameters can be increased. You can learn additional skills, additional magic, passive abilities, and additional combo techniques for your attacks in battle. There's also a second type of Fury, and these are the ones you'll find over the course of the game. That are the Furies that you find over the course of the game. Those ones can be equipped to characters kind of like accessories. They'll provide additional stat bonuses, and they can be leveled up when they're equipped to a character. So as you level up the characters, or level up the Furies rather, the bonuses they provide increase. Additionally, these Furies are also used for the world shaping feature, which is integral to kind of manipulating the like bonuses you receive inside dungeons. You can do some really nifty effects with those there. And as we get further into the game, I can demonstrate the world shaping feature a little better.
Is there any extreme boss fights in the game that would be really challenging?
Several. There's actually a location.
Repeat the question, just-
Are there any boss fights that would be challenging? Yeah, there's a location called Shukesu's Tower. When you first go to this place, it's only a 5-story tower. But as you use the world shaping feature to stab the Furies you've collected into the world map, the height of the tower will increase. And as the tower increases, the difficulty of the monsters inside increases, as do the rewards you get for defeating these monsters. So the bulk of like the challenging boss fights in the game are fought at Shukesu's tower. There's also a character named Lola, whom we'll probably see at some point in this live stream, and she'll give out basically missions that it's like, oh, there's a Fury at this location, go and get it. And generally, the boss fights for these like side Furies are incredibly difficult. And so between that and the tower, there's a lot of difficult boss fights for the player to enjoy.
Did you talk about the DLCs for the Shukesu Tower?
Well, I mean, since you brought it up, yeah. Shukesu's Tower will be periodically releasing free DLC for Shukesu's Tower, and what that entails is basically alternate routes.
Yes.
So there's like basically the base floors 1 through 50, and then they'll be releasing alternate routes, which are basically different bosses to fight on these floors and different rewards to get for defeating those bosses. So between base routes and alternate routes, you've got about 100 different challenges that you can face.
Yeah, so for those of you who love to have like the extra challenges and want to like grind or level up like crazy, I like to grind too. So the DLCs for the Shukesu Tower are all free. So look forward to that.
Yeah, I think a couple should already be on the PlayStation Store or close to releasing.
Yeah,
soon.
very
so
close to releasing.
So keep an eye on that.
Chaos Bunnies wants to know if Fang keeps his lazy man swag throughout the game.
I don't want to venture into spoiler territory, but you know that is kind of
that is his characteristic.
That's his shtick.
Personality.
He doesn't really deviate too far from his lazy man swag, as you put it.
I like that lazy man swag. We should use that as a personality like explanation from now on.
Lazy man
the
swag.
Lazy man swag.
Shizuka Toamai asks, does the entire game revolve around the area, or does the map expand?
So the game basically takes place within this one region in the world. It's a continent. The continent this game takes place on has a very diverse geography. Volcanoes, ice caves, floating mountains, deserts. You don't really stray too far from this region, but I would say the diversity of locations within this region kind of makes up for that. So now we're coming up to our first battle.
Yay, with tutorial.
So we'll have some tutorial scenes, and I
got that wink.
Yep, I can better show off some of the gameplay. The combat in this game is really fun, really fluid, and as you progress further and unlock additional combo strings and techniques and skills, it just becomes a blast to play through. So this is the first tutorial. We can actually skip through this and that. And here we go. We'll start the battle proper.
Slice Endy wants to know, is there side content and hidden foes in the game?
Yes. There's plenty of, as mentioned before, there's the Lola missions for additional Furies. There's about 16 different missions she offers that you can do for additional challenges and rewards. There's Shukesu's Tower. There are 2 characters in the game who can be recruited, but they're optional characters, kind of like Yuffie and Vincent from Final Fantasy VII. You have to meet specific requirements within the game to recruit these characters. But I'd say they're worth it. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but they're pretty fun to use.
Phantom X Death wants to know, can you customize any of the in-game music, like for battles, etc.? And change what music plays?
Not really. However, when you use the Fair Eyes command, which I'll be able to explain in a little more detail in this tutorial, it does change the battle music. But as far as just kind of like customizing the music that plays in battles, unfortunately, that's not a feature in the game.
Yeah, but it's still really, really cool. Like
So you can
whoever
see-
played or played the game really, really dig the battle music a lot.
So as you can see,